I got my edit letter today for a book I have coming out next year. It's a middle grade novel called Auntie Q's Golden Claws Nail Salon, and it's about a girl who gets sent to her aunt's nail salon for the summer to work off this mistake that she made. And it's really cute. I really enjoy it. It's full of aunties and nail salon antics. Every time I get edits for a novel, no matter what type of book it is, I write books for both adult and middle grade audience. I'm always racked with such anxiety and stress and nervousness and just feeling like I can't do anything right. And this is going to be my fifth book. So obviously I have a lot of experience with this, but no matter how many books I've written, I always end up feeling so racked with anxiety and going through multiple existential crises a day. And I felt like maybe if I documented this whole process, that maybe in the future it will help me to not be so, I don't know, full of nervousness and just, you know, so many feelings. And hopefully this will help somebody else out there. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to vlog every day with updates on how things are going with my edits. And today is day one. We're going to tackle the big edit letter. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is open up my trusty, dusty planner, and I have this project planning sheet that works really well whenever I have a big project like this. I'm just going to fill it out. Basically, what we're working on today is Auntie Q's final line edits. Woohoo! So backstory on that. This is actually the third edit letter that I'm going to get for Auntie Q's. It's been through 2 rounds of developmental edits already, and this is the final round. That's why it's so exciting, because I've been working on this book for so long that I'm just super incredibly excited to just finally be done with it. It's due on December 16th. That's the deadline my editor gave me. And then I'm going to break it up into actionable to-do items. First one is to literally just open and read the edit letter. That's sometimes the hardest part for me, is just getting started, because I will just sort of like curl into my own little ball of existential crisis and never get anything done. Then I will split all the edits into actionable items again, further in the edit letter. So because this is the third developmental edit, it's not a really long letter, and so this part didn't take that long, and I'm actually a little relieved, because the edit letter is probably the hardest part to address, just because these are big overall ideas. It's not just like one line that you add here, it's like huge changes that will affect other scenes and other chapters. That's why it helps me to break them down into check marks, because then it doesn't feel like such a huge undertaking. So once I'm done with that, I will open up the line edits, which is just the manuscript of the novel where my editor has made inline comments. Usually these are very small comments that she'll make, but they might reference the edit letter. It just kind of depends on each change, or she'll flag moments in the book that she referenced in the edit letter. Going through the edit letter was one of my main goals today, and yay, we got that done. And now I'm going to tackle the inline comments, because those are probably a little bit easier to do. There's something about seeing the title page and the copyright page on my book for the first time that just really makes me like emotional. Like all this hard work, all the months of pouring out my soul into this story, and it's going to be a real book, and it never gets old, even though this is not my first book. It just always like hits me in a special place. And yeah, the way my editor works is that she'll give me this long edit letter that will give overall notes on what I need to change in the book, and for the most part she'll give me solutions to some of these problems that she brings up. Sometimes she'll just give me a little prompt to be like, oh, this isn't working, what else can we do? It's not necessarily that she solves all of my issues for me, but she will sort of help guide me into a better way to tell the story in the way that she thinks I intend to tell it, which I think is the best thing an editor can do. I know that some writers will tell you that editors shouldn't be prescriptive, but honestly, I love it, because I have made so many decisions already just writing this novel that when it comes to editing, I need a second opinion. I don't always agree with her advice, but I do agree when she tells me that something is wrong. And then when I'm working on the edits, things will just naturally fall into a solution. And sometimes it fits what she suggested, and sometimes it doesn't. But as long as it works for the story, that's the big goal. I'm pretty much done editing for the day, and I'm a little tired because even though it's just reviewing comments, it feels very emotionally draining. Like I said before, everything feels kind of like a personal attack, and then you have to make a lot of decisions on what is being questioned. I'm proud of the work I did. I managed to address all the minor inline comments. There were a few that I didn't feel up to responding to because they required a more in-depth look at other parts of the manuscript. And today I just wanted to address all the things that I could solve in the moment. Tomorrow, that's my goal, is to start attacking the overall notes as well as the comments that I didn't get to today, which actually kind of correspond to the overall notes. So that's what I'll do tomorrow. Okay, so today is day 2 of edits on Auntie Q's Golden Claws Nail Salon. This is the edit letter. I made some highlights of things I'm going to work on today, and let's get to it. I just worked for like 2 hours. I made some very major changes, and I am going to take a break for now because I have other work to do. Alright guys, is it day 3 or day 4? I don't remember anymore. Time has lost all meaning to me. But I'm going to a coffee shop today to write and finish my edits because I think I'm going to actually finish the developmental edits today, like the overall notes in the edit letter, that kind of stuff, because I've been going through the inline comments and I think I've hit most of them. So I'm going to wrap up the overall developmental edit and then maybe start reading the book all over again. And I have childcare today and I don't have to be at work, so I'm just going to spend all day on edits, and let's go. All right, we are heading to Golden State Coffee Roasters today. It's this really cute coffee shop with a spacious lobby, and all the seating is so spacious. The entire place has a very vintage vibe and writerly vibe to it. I really love being here just because I can always find seating and there's nice music playing and has a very open feel to it. And I ended up getting a simple Americano and a delicious chorizo breakfast. I didn't really expect it to be so good, but it was really, really yummy. And then I'm going to start editing. As usual, I open my edit letter to review what I need to focus on today. I really think I'm going to finish the developmental edits today. I'm going to review all of the comments to make sure that I responded to every single one. I'm sure it works differently at every publisher, but at least with Macmillan, which is where this book is going to be published, I have to respond to every single comment, even if it's just a simple okay. And that's totally normal, even though it sounds very terse and abrupt. That's just a standard response when something is literally okay. I'm pretty much done with the huge part of editing for the day, so I decided to go to a nearby park to take a little break. I really love the lake by this park. It's just a nice way to sort of wrap things up. I like to sit down at the end of every writing session and journal for a little bit to figure out what I've done and what I need to do next. So I am going through my project planning page to make sure that I'm on task with all of the steps that I've broken up earlier. And then I'm going to journal for a little bit just to reflect on my day and what I need to do next. Today was very productive. At my next writing session, I'm going to start reading this book all over again. Hey guys, so this is day 4 and I am not at a nice picturesque vibey place. I am just in my bedroom, and today we're going to open the novel and start to read it from start to finish and make sure that all the little minor things that I needed to change that I couldn't just check off an edit letter. This is more like a vibe check, and to make sure that the novel is consistent and all the changes I've made make sense and align and all that good stuff. So I'm going to try to read through the book this week. It's better to get it all done in one chunk, but realistically that's not going to happen for me because I only get like 1 or 2 hours of free time at a time, but I'm going to focus on that this week. I have 7 more days before deadline to turn this in, and I'm pretty sure I can do it. That's never been a big stressor for me as long as I work on the book consistently for a little bit every single day. By the way, if you're wondering what these things are on my arms, it's called a TENS machine, and it's basically just like a little electronic massager for my arms because I have repetitive wrist injuries from overworking. So surprise! But that's what they are in case you're ever wondering. So this is actually one of my favorite parts of the editing process, is just finally getting to read through all of my work and making sure everything aligns, because that means that we're almost done. Although at this point, a lot of authors are going to tell you that the book no longer has any meaning because you've read it so often at this point, and I totally agree with that. today's actually day 5, but I took the weekend off, so I actually only have 6 more days to finish the book and turn it in, and I'm just going to continue reading it today to make sure that everything is consistent. To be honest, I just ate my weight's worth in popcorn. So we'll see how alert and focused I can be in this writing session. So today is day 6 and I'm on page 106, continuing to read my book. There are about 270 pages, so I am almost halfway there. Alright, it's been a couple hours and I'm getting tired. I'm going to stop for the day and I'm on page 192, so more than halfway there and about less than 100 pages left, so almost to the finish line. Yay! I just finished reading the book and I don't know why, but it just got me so emotional because this book was supposed to be a fun middle grade novel about working at a nail salon for the summer, which it is, but it ended up dealing with a lot of things that I didn't realize I had to address. And now that it's finished, I'm so grateful to my editor for all the questions that she asked and for all the things that I learned about myself and my own culture and the immigrant experience. And it was just very eye-opening to work on this book and to learn so much about myself. Reading the end just kind of brought it all together and was very emotional for me. But on that note, I'm so happy that I finished reading it and it's done. I think I addressed everything that my editor asked in her edit letter. So I'm going to sleep on it, maybe glance over it a little bit tomorrow. There are some things that I needed to fix, like the diacritics for the Vietnamese language. But other than those technical issues, I'm ready to just send off the manuscript. Today is Wednesday and I still have 5 days to turn it in. I'm very happy that I'm going to meet my deadline. I'm so grateful for this story. And I just really appreciated being able to make it the best that I could possibly make it. After this developmental edit, there are still copy edits and proofreading. So I'm not completely done with the book yet, but as far as developmental edits, it's finished. And this is one of the biggest hurdles of writing a book. So it's actually a great milestone and I can't wait to turn it in. And here we go. It's off! Thank you guys so much for following along on this editing journey. It was kind of nice to use these videos as a journal and to document how I felt every day. I really appreciate anyone watching this and I hope it helped or was entertaining or enjoyable in any way. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.